Good morning again, family.
Good morning.
Good to see us all. Okay. Did we kill it? All right. All right, so the season of celebration is upon us, is it not? We started it this week pretty much by starting to sing Christmas celebration songs. Love it. Of course, you know, I'm decorating my house, and I missed the big parade yesterday. I was working on things in the house, and I heard the sirens, and I thought, it's a major fire going on. Did half of Knox burn down and I not know? Walk outside smelling no smoke, so apparently I missed the peppermint parade. Which I did get to see the Polar Express go by my house in the evening. It's a little smaller than I originally thought it would be. On TV it looks so much bigger. But we're in the celebration season, but not many people enjoy it. And some of us here struggle with it ourselves. And there's some reasons why we struggle with it. And one of the reasons is it's too commercialized. I heard some employees talking at a store how they were complaining that before Halloween, they had Christmas stuff in the stockroom, and they were already being told, well, right after Halloween, this needs to come here, and this goes there, and this goes there. So they were like, what happened to Thanksgiving? It's gone. What? So it was odd to me to hear two employees complain about what they were. That they missed that break, that division. It's become way too much about buying things, commercialized, than just enjoying the atmosphere. Secondly, some of you grew up in a time period when Christmas was not joyful. You didn't have all the fixings that you might have now. You might not have the Christmas life that is advertised on the Hallmark Channel. So you're like, bah humbug. I'm not really enjoying this. My dad is one who's taken years of his life to get over a major tragedy in his life that happened on Christmas morning. So when I grew up, yeah, he put on a face, but it wasn't really enjoyable for him. Now, as a kid, you don't understand that, but some of you do. And some of you still struggle with Christmas because you're like, that's not how I remember it. That's not how I spent most of my life in it. I'm not really that big in it, Ron. It doesn't have the sense of joy and excitement. Some of us find it a financial burden. We go out of our ways to spend amazing amounts of money for moments of joy. Now, that's not personally me, by the way. I'm a little miser. But there are others out there who put themselves into 8 months of debt just to give their kids an enjoyable Christmas. And then we watch TV and it's like, oh, brand new car sitting in the driveway. Oh, that's so joyful. Who can afford that? Nobody. These car commercials need to get real with things. I'm just saying. And then the Hallmark Channel always makes it look good that, oh, the family all comes together. At the last moment, everyone's together, everyone's happy. But there's so many of us that live great distances away that that's not possible. Our families move this way, our families move that way, and it becomes hard. It becomes hard because there's a country between the two of us. Or there's miles and miles and miles that is impossible to make on one-day journey. So we have to rely on phones, and now, thank goodness, we have Facebook, and if you have an Apple phone, apparently you can do live chat with people. That's pretty nice. So you get that sense, but some of you and some people out there, they can't travel. So they're left by themselves. And so Christmas is not joyful. The Hallmark Channel is a lie. And everything about it is a lie because I'm just stuck right here in my little hovel of a house or my nursing home or wherever I'm at, and I can't get out. And then there's the biggest problem with Christmas. And that's one that my dad faced, and that was death. My dad lost his grandmother on Christmas morning. When he was a young teenager, like 12 or 13, boom, she died. And that was his life. Because his mom worked and his dad worked, and grandma was always there. And all of a sudden, grandma's not there no more. So, and you all can face that. You all pretty much have lost parents, or friends, or family. And so you know those feelings. And you're like, what's there to be joyful about? It's just another day that I remember that this person's not my life. So, there are these times that, why Christmas? Why be joyful? Why be happy? Well, it's because that we have a special gift. Now, last week we looked at that gift, and that's the gift of Christ. But with the gift of Christ is a lot of little gifts inside. And in there is the gift of resistance. Resisting Satan. Being able to say, get away from me, Satan. You have no power on me. You have no presence in my presence. Get away. But today we're going to look at a story where Jesus says, look, in my gift, I give you something else besides resistance. There's something even greater than resistance, and that's an awesome gift. But in here, we'll pull out another piece of his gift, and it's family. We all have family. We all came from family. You had to come from somewhere. You just didn't be found under a rock. That's what my dad told me forever and ever and ever. And my brother was found out in a field somewhere, so I don't know. You might question some of that. I started doing it a long time ago. Was I really found under a rock? Is that why I'm such a hard head? That could be. That could explain a lot. But we have family. God says, look, I want you to have family. When he created Adam, he looked at Adam and said, dude, he's so lonely. He's so miserable. He needs a wife to add on to that. No, that's not what he said. He said he needs a wife to make him feel good. A wife to pick him up. The wife to help him out. The wife to make him feel loved. That's what he needs. So he gave him Eve. And that's family. And they were blessed with children. Today's story is going to take place in Luke 8:40 through 42. And then we're going to jump a bunch of scriptures and go 49 through 56. And the reason why we're going to jump a bunch, because within a story, there's another little story, and we don't want to look at that story today. That's not what we're going to look at. It doesn't apply to the overall story we're looking at. So we're going to look at this story, and it starts out in verse 40. Now when Jesus had returned, the crowd welcomed him, for they were all waiting for him. Jesus sailed across the Sea of Galilee into a foreign land. And if you remember your Bible stories, that's where he meets the guy that has the legion of demons in him. And he heals that guy, and he tells that guy, go back into your town and tell everyone what God has done for you. Go witness for him. And then he gets in the boat and he sails back. Well, everyone's waiting on the shore, because everyone wants to hear the teachings and see the miracles of a great prophet, as they considered him. A great teacher. They didn't realize he is the gift. He is the Messiah. So they're only looking at one little portion of him. But one man in our story realizes there's more. More to Jesus than just a great teacher. More than Jesus than just a great healer. He is the presence of God in their lives. And there we meet this man in verse 41. And there came a man named Jairus, who was ruler of the synagogue. That means he was like the preacher or an elder. One of those kind of positions. And falling at Jesus' feet, he implored him to come to his house. So he sees Jesus. Jesus is getting off the docks, and he begs Jesus. He gets in the crowd and says, back away. And he bows down and gets on his knees and says, Jesus, I need you to come to my house. Jesus, you don't understand. I need you now. You don't go time over here and don't go. I need you to come with me right now. This is highly important. You can't delay. There's something major going on. I need you. And the reason is this. And he explains to Jesus. For he had an only daughter, about 12 years of age, and she was dying. He bends on his knees and begs in a way that he would never done. Everyone else begs to him in that community because he's the high guy. But when Jesus walks in, he realizes who he's facing. He says, my family is in trouble and I need you. My daughter has fallen ill. Or maybe it was an accident and she got hit by a cart or a donkey or a camel kicked her. And now her head is swelling and her body is shutting down. It could be that she contracted malaria, or the measles, or the mumps, or any number of diseases that youth or adults can get. But whatever it is, he knows there is no hope for her outside of Jesus. While he was still speaking to Jesus and explaining what was going on, someone from the ruler's house came and said, your daughter is dead. Do not trouble the teacher anymore. Jesus, on hearing this answer, answered him. Jesus looked at Jairus and realized Jairus' face of hope and joy and expectation just dropped. Dropped down and it's gone. All he sees on his face now is deep, deep depression, sorrow, misery. And Jesus says, no. Bring back what you had. Bring back that hope. Bring back that joy. Bring back what you were feeling when you first came to me. That's what I'm looking for you, Jairus. Bring that back. Don't let that go. Hold on to that. That's your lifeline right now. Don't let Satan win in this effect here. Because Satan's the one who encouraged that man to come in and interrupt this moment of joy and expectation. It was Satan who witnessed to this guy and says, look, hey, dude, go break this party up. I don't want this to happen. Go mess this up. Don't let Jairus have a hope in his life. Smother that candle. Verse 51, or 51st, Jesus says, on hearing him, he answered him, do not fear, only believe, and she will be well. And when he came to the house, he allowed no one to enter with him, except for Peter, John, and James, and the father and the mother of the child. Now outside it was customary, if someone dies, or is dying, to show your respects by screaming, by fake tears, by ripping your clothes, by playing loud instruments. And that's how you showed someone honor in their culture if they were dying, someone of high status. So here we have this large group of people. Half of them probably could care less what's going on, but they don't want to be excluded from looking like they're wanting to honor Jairus and his family. So they're out there, they're weeping, as it says, and they were all weeping and mourning for her. They were wailing. And Jesus said to them, do not weep, for she is not dead, but sleeping. He's telling these people, quit your fake show. What you're faking about isn't, stop it. She's alive. You just don't realize it. I'm here. I'm the gift. I'm going to give this man his family back. Now you all stop. You're bringing him down. You're taking his joy and the mother with me. Stop it. And then they had the audacity to laugh at it, which says they really weren't there mourning to begin with. They were only there for the show. So they're like, yeah, you're an idiot. Dude, go away. Go away. You don't know what you're talking about. She's dead. We've heard mourning. We've heard the mother wail in the room when she realized her daughter breathed her last. We've seen the man run out. We asked him what was going on, and he said, she's dead. So, dude, you have no clue what you're talking about here. You're a joke, and this is a whole big joke. You need to go away, basically. But taking her by the hand, he called, saying, child, arise. And her spirit returned, and she got up at once. And he directed that something be given to her to eat, and her parents were amazed. But he charged them not to tell anyone what had happened. Amazing story, great hope, great joy that Jesus has the power over death. He does. So why doesn't he do it for us today? Well, I'm going to put yourself in that girl's shoes for a moment. You're no longer in the misery of earth. You're in a place of pleasantness and of joy. How would you like to be ripped from that and put back down into a place of misery and pain and agony? Jesus says, hey, I've went to heaven now. I'm bringing people with me. When your loved ones die, they're with me. Why would you want them back to suffer what you're still suffering? Let them enjoy the bliss and the pleasantness of me, who they've worked so long in their lives to be a part of. That's why Jesus said, we just go, whoa, everyone's back to life again. He says, no. They've earned their reward. Let them have it. Gives us hope, too, that when I die, I know that there are people up there waiting for me, along with my Savior going, yay, Ron, you actually made it. You had doubts, but you did it. But when reading this story, and I've told this story probably 1,000 times to kids, because it's a really cool story for kids, right? They love these happy endings. Something clicked this time when studying this story. Something clicked that bothered me that I never read before, and that also bothered me. Why have I never read that before? And the statement is this. What I read was, don't trouble the teacher anymore. Don't trouble him. Don't bother him. Leave him alone. spirits back up. Have faith in me. Believe. And here's what was being said to the man. Here's what was being said to a father of a 12-year-old whose child was dying. This is what was being said. Don't bother Jesus anymore. You've stopped him from teaching. You've stopped him from telling everyone else something important. You've interrupted his day. Now you stop. You're not that important. It's not all about you. Your child is not that important that he should stop teaching other people the Word of God. Secondly, don't burden Jesus anymore. Don't burden him with the death of your daughter. Your daughter's dead. Don't put that on him. Don't make him feel that sorrow that you're feeling, because that's not fair. Let him continue teaching and being joyful and pleasant and smiling to all the little kids that are in his presence. Let him be smiling to the adults that are coming to him. Let him do things. Don't burden him anymore. And then when you're told that, you're also telling this thing. Hide your grief at this point. You're an elder. You're a leader. Don't cry in his presence. Hide your grief. Hide it. Hide your sorrow. Hide your loss. Just hide. Matter of fact, Jairus, just go to the background. Because there's other people out here. You just need to fade away. Go away. Because it's too late. It's too late. Jesus can't help you anymore. But there are sick over here. There are lame over here. There are blind over here. There are deaf over here. And he can help them. So don't pull him away from those that still need him. It's not fair. In those few words, that message that was delivered to the Father had to be painful. Painful beyond belief. And that's why his face just dropped. Because he didn't hear just his daughter had died. And that's bad enough. But to be told that you're not important like that anymore, go away. Go hide. Act like it's not happened because Jesus doesn't have time for you anymore. There's people who have needs of their own and they need their needs met now because it's too late for you. Now most of you can relate to that kind of scenario to some way or another. You're old enough now that you've lived this kind of life, that there is sorrow, there is grief, there is loss, and you've experienced these things. And you might have heard something like this. It's too late. The ones you loved, they're gone. So you're just going to have to deal with life on your own. You didn't make amends. Well, it's just too late. Your loved ones are gone. You might have heard it's too late. You were left behind. Sorry. But you're by yourself now. Have a nice day. Your spouse or your parents or whoever left, have a nice day. And it's too late. There's no one left to help you. No one's coming to your aid. You're on your own and you're by yourself. You just got to suck it up. I like to say buttercup with that. Suck it up, buttercup. You're on your own. You can do this. God made you strong. Right? God said, I'm going to be with you, so you can still do this, right? Do it on your own because that's how I made you. You were born to be by yourself, and you're going to die by yourself. How many of you have ever heard that? I hear that a lot. And I'm like, no, that's not right. You were never born alone. You were born and there was your mom. And there was hopefully your dad. And there was hopefully your grandparents and a whole nursing staff and a doctor and all kinds of people around you. And you were never alone your growing up years in church because you were always being helped by somebody. I guarantee. Someone loved you. You were never alone and you'll never die alone. Because if you're with Christ, he says, family. Family. You know what the definition of family is? The definition of family in the dictionary, the one I like to read and understand, is all the descendants of a common ancestor. All the descendants of a common ancestor. We are all family. Everyone you meet is family. Because we're all from a common ancestor. There's no one that came from outer space and was dropped off as a baby and said, here, live on this planet because it's goofy and you're goofy, so you just live with it. No, we're all from a family. Adam kids had kids. And then we come to Noah. And then we come to Moses. And we come to all the lineage. And it all comes from Jesus Christ, who created us along with his Father. They had a plan that said, yes, this is what we want to create. We'll call them humans. And we'll call them our friends. We'll call them family. We're all from his DNA. We are not alone. It's never too late. This is why Jesus allowed us to see this story today. To understand that he, above all things, gives us the gift of family. Jesus says, I want you to have family. You need family. But family isn't just immediate blood. Family is people of your descendant heritage. And we all share the same heritage. John 19:25-27, Jesus re-utters this and restates this and puts it very plainly for everyone to understand that you are not alone. It's never too late. You have family, and you don't need to be miserable. You don't need to think you're alone. You don't need to think that there's no one who loves me anymore. Because there are. And it starts at near the cross of Jesus stood his mother's sister, Mary, wife of Clopas. Mary Magdalene. He was not alone. Even on his dying moments, he had family there. And when he saw his mother there, and the disciple whom he loved standing nearby, he said to her, Woman, here is your son. Here is your family. Here is the one who will take care of you and love you as much as I did. And to the disciple, he said, Here is your mother. You are not alone. You have a mother right there beside you right now. You might think I've left you, but I've left you a mother. I've left you a family. You're not alone. It's never too late. You can bother me, Jesus says. Stick with me. Let me know your suffering. Let me know your problems because I want to know this because I've created a family. And until you open up to me, you're not going to open up to my family. So you need to open up to me. Let me know what's bothering you. But don't give up. Don't give up if the tragedy keeps getting worse. Keep hope and believe because I've got family coming to your aid. Who's our family? Well, it's the church. Because it's never too late. You still have loved ones. They sit with you in pews. They sit with you at restaurants. They sit with you when you go through struggles. They sit with you in spirit in other churches. As they pray and as we pray, as we sing and as they sing, we're worshiping the same God, and God sees us all and says, this is my family, and I love them. It's never too late. You're never alone. You might think you're alone in your house, but you're not. Someone's always thinking of you. If it's not Jesus alone, then he's put on his mind to tell someone else, hey, this person's suffering now. At least pray for him. If you can't get out and go visit them, pray for them. It's never too late. You have help all around you. Some of us want to do everything on our own. I'm bad about it. I'll admit. I like doing everything on my own. I don't like to ask for help. Because then I think, well, okay, maybe I just can't do things anymore. And people think less of me. That's not true. We're never alone. And we have help all around us. We have each other. Now, maybe you can't do certain things for me anymore, like climb a ladder. Wayne can't anymore. He told me that. He said he can't do that anymore. Right, Wayne? The ladder's off limits to Wayne. And it's also off limits to Dwayne. It's also off limits to Ken. But I've got my ace in the hole in the very back there. He can climb a ladder. And he can almost reach as high as the ladder. So it's all good. Right? Yeah, he's smiling. He's like, I don't know, Ron. And it's never too late because, as I said, you have a family in the believers. I know that no matter where I go in my life, there are people who believe like I believe, that believe that there is a Jesus Christ, that believe that he died and rose from the grave, that he loves me and he's going to call me back home one day as long as I'm faithful. And I know that no matter where I go, I have family that believes the same thing, and I can call them family. And they know that I'm family to them. There's churches I've been in that I have family, and I've left them and I said, guys, I'm sorry, God's called me elsewhere, and they understand. But if there was a need, I can call them. If there's a time that they need me, truly needed me, not just go hang Christmas lights up or whatever, but truly, truly needed me, I'd make the effort to get there because we're family. We need to understand during this Christmas season, there's a reason to be joyful. There's a reason past what we can't see. And that's because we don't always see we have family. We think we're alone. But we're not. And we don't need to say, don't bother Jesus with this because he's got many other problems over there. Jesus says, I can handle all that and what you're going through. You just got to talk to me. Because when you talk to me, you let yourself know that I'm here to help you. And you'll accept my help. We are family. And that's a gift from God. If you're not feeling that today, as our song team comes up to lead us in our closing hymn, if you're not feeling that today, come on up. Talk to me about this. I'd love to help you with this. Let's stand and sing our closing hymn. And just say thank you all for being here today. It's wonderful. Let's go to God and pray that he'll bless our week. Father, we ask that as the season is supposed to be about joy, you'll help us find reasons to be joyful when we can't find them. Father, show us reasons to be joyful. Help us to rely on you and help us to be thankful to you every day. We ask this as we ask that you bless us this week and give us a great week as you've done before. And we ask all these things in your Son's name. Amen.
Amen. Before we sing our closing song today, as Pastor Ron's sermon talks about family, as you make your way to the back of the church, right on the wall going downstairs is a new sign that we put up. I'd like everybody to take a look at it because that represents our church. So with that being said, we have a new closing song, and I hope you all like it because it's very Christmassy.